Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Robbie Crager, the Flip Flop Flipper, and 6 years ago, we moved to the island of Puerto Rico and started a business. After the storm of the century, we came to this island hoping that our money would go further, that we could find a vibrant community that we could live into, and when we came, we started a business from scratch. Today, I'm going to tell you how it's gone over the last 6 years. Maybe I'm going to give you some pointers about what it would be like for you to move to Puerto Rico, and I'll give you a little hint. If you're thinking about moving to Puerto Rico or buying real estate in Puerto Rico, or if you're a local Puerto Rican who moved to the States for other opportunities, maybe now is the time. It's never been better. Puerto Rico is amazing. We have a rocket ship economy, and it looks like things are going to continue to go well for the foreseeable future. And before 2018 or 2019, that just wasn't the case. We had decade-long recession on the island of Puerto Rico. So this is going back before I got here to the island of Puerto Rico. Not that I'm the cause of everything getting better. I believe that the island of Puerto Rico is in recovery, and that over the last 6 years, we've seen the economy get better. We've seen the GDP start to trend upward for the first time in over a decade. We've seen the population growth start back at around 2019 and trend upward for a couple of years. And then we had a little dip, but then we were up again. And so hopefully we're going to continue this population growth because, guys, population sort of drives everything. I believe that the Puerto Rico island offers so much. If you are a business person or if you just want to come live in paradise, I believe that if you left the island for other opportunities and you're a local and you're going to come back, it really is the time for you guys to be thinking about that. And we hope that someone sees our videos and realizes that, and they come back to the island of Puerto Rico and they start a business and they buy some real estate, because it's just an amazing place to live. It's an amazing place to be in business. You know what? I put a lot of content out there about Puerto Rico. I put a lot of content out here about buying real estate in Puerto Rico, and I get it. I get the hard feelings. I get all of that, but I want to encourage you guys, the audience who are watching this, maybe you're thinking about coming to Puerto Rico. I'll say it again. I think if you're thinking about doing it, or you're thinking about buying something or thinking about moving here, pretty much don't care where you're coming from, whether it's California. I think if you're coming from California, you should jump on the next plane. No decision to make. You're going to save so much money just in taxes, but pretty much no matter where you're coming from, it's a great move. Life will be good here. I'm going to go through in this video what are some of the things that you can expect on the island, and hopefully you'll get something out of it. If you like that, give me a thumbs up on the way in, guys. We mostly do real estate content on this channel, so we put out, the channel started with us putting out videos about our projects so that people back in the States who were our partners could see what we were doing, and it's expanded from there. So 6 years in, how's it going? It's going pretty damn phenomenally well. Hey, so here's some things that you need to know if you're thinking of moving to Puerto Rico. So I said, this is the land of opportunity. If you're thinking of moving to Puerto Rico, move to Puerto Rico. If you're thinking of buying some real estate in Puerto Rico, do it. It's a great idea. It's a great decision. Are you thinking about starting a business? Whatever it is that your business, if the island needs it and you bring it, it will be successful, and we've seen this. I mean, guys, Chick-fil-A just got here a year or two ago, and they're doing outstanding. Consistently on the island, the Walmarts of the world, the Home Depots of the world on the island, they consistently perform better than any other place in the States. So it's a great place to be in business. It's a great place for you to bring your small business and move away from oppressive places like California where you can save on taxes. One of the big reasons that you would move to Puerto Rico is because you can save on taxes. Now you have to jump through some hoops and you have to set things up properly. You could maybe get into export services where you could pay like a 4% corporate tax. You could possibly become what used to be Act 20, which is like the day traders guides, where they don't pay any capital gains. Unfortunately, I think takes a lot of heat. Many of the people on the island don't like it, and rightfully so, because they're excluded from it, and it's really not fair. It's an unfortunate way that that law is written, and it doesn't allow for the local population to take advantage of something that really there's no reason to exclude them from. But anyways, that's not what you're here for. Let's talk about what it's like to live on the island of Puerto Rico and what you can expect. When you come to the island, and many people think that the cost of living will be less on the island of Puerto Rico, and that is probably true, and I'm picking on California. It's probably true if you're coming from California. It's probably true if you're coming from New York or the Northeast of the United States of America, but it's probably not true if you come from the Midwest. It's probably not true if you're coming from the South. I think moving here from Florida, I can't really tell a difference in the cost of living from Florida to Puerto Rico. They're about the same. What's more expensive? Food is more expensive here on the island. and harder to get sometimes. Supplies for construction are more expensive and much harder to get sometimes. That has to do with the Jones Act, which is another unfortunate piece of legislature that's been around forever and ever and maybe has served its purpose, but there's still a fight as to whether that continues or not. I'd love to see it go away so that goods and services could become a little bit cheaper. But right now, we're running through inflation, right? Everybody's seen this in the States, and Puerto Rico has seen this too. So gas is more expensive, food is more expensive. Rents are mostly lower than most of the East Coast of the United States, and definitely if you're coming from out west. Maybe they're similar to if you grew up in or you're coming from the Midwest. So I have seen rents rising on the island, and certainly there are pockets of the island where they're tremendously expensive. Like if you go live in Gringoland in Dorado and you want to live in the country club, you're going to pay an arm and a leg there. I mean, it's very, very expensive to live there. That's not my kind of living. That's not what we like to do, but there are people that love it. I have friends that are out there that they come in and they go out there to the golf course and they never leave, and they don't mind living that kind of life. That hasn't been for me. Maybe it's for you. If you do want that, it's not going to be any cheaper to live on that golf course than it is to live on the golf club in Orlando or the golf club in New York, right? Like it's expensive living to live that country club style living. So when you come to the island, don't probably expect that your living expenses are going to go down. It's possible that if you move out into the mountains, you could buy a very inexpensive house and you could live sort of off grid and do it really inexpensively. But for most of you, it's not going to be that. It's going to be relatively the same as it is back in the States. What I'd like to say about Puerto Rico, though, coming here to start a business, and there was recently an article out there that starting a business in San Juan is one of the hardest places to start a business in the entire United States of America. And I think that that could possibly be true, that it is hard, but I want to tell you that it has been absolutely a dream scenario for us. It has been worth it in every single way and every single time. So even though I say some things are harder on the island of Puerto Rico, I'm telling you, it's worth it. Come and do it. You just have to be willing to work through these problems, work through these issues. So if the government of Puerto Rico is difficult on permitting, but you can buy the real estate really well, that still makes for a good investment. Let's talk about wages. So if you're going to come here and you're going to start a business, wages are important to you, right? And while we have one of the lowest minimum wages in the United States, we've seen wage growth. And I hope, guys, that as you come here, you're not looking to just hire minimum wage employees. We have seen a wage growth that's tremendous on the island. So when we first came to the island, I have a good friend that I talk about who has a big roofing company on the island, and he was paying people minimum wage for like a 90-day trial period and then giving them a raise, either giving them a raise or firing them. And that was his method of teaching people how to be roofers. And I think his wages have increased like 50% over the last 5 years. And so in our business, some of the things that we've seen, we do lots of construction on the island, and we've seen the price for skilled labor and non-skilled labor sort of skyrocket. And that's pretty great, right? Like, so you want to see this sort of wage growth. We want to see people getting good, skilled, high-paying jobs, learning a trade, right? Like, so these are some things that excite me as a business owner. I don't want to have a business where I've got a dozen people working for minimum wage. I want to have a business that is able to lift people up, teaches someone a skill set, and brings them alongside of us so that they can make more money. It's my goal and my dream that in our businesses, we want everybody to be well paid. And if you're that type of an entrepreneur, you're going to love it here because there is a very skilled labor set. Here's another one that you can expect when you come to the island of Puerto Rico. We have, hands down, the best infrastructure of any island in the Caribbean. And we have potholes that you sometimes should build a bridge over. And we have power that goes out on a daily basis sometimes for no reason at all. But having been here for 6 years, I can tell you, the roads are better and they're improving all the time. The power grid is better and it's improving all the time. And there's protests and there's, changes, mass changes from one company to the other company. But I really believe that LUMA is doing a good job trying to improve the power grid. And so we've seen that over 6 years of living on the island. Now the power really does only probably go out once or twice a week for a short period of time, where when we first came to the island, the power was still off from the storm of Maria. It was a really frustrating time, but we've seen the grid get better. We've seen the infrastructure get better. And regardless of that, we already know that this, as far as the Caribbean islands go, Puerto Rico's got a very good power grid. It's got good road systems. This is still the United States of America. So this is a really nice place where you can come and live in paradise. And we've got rainforests, and we've got beautiful beaches, and we've got snorkeling, and we've got surfing and fishing, and we have everything that you can imagine that's fun to do outdoors. Here's why I think you should move to the island of Puerto Rico and why you're gonna love it. I'm a businessman, and I came here with the idea of buying real estate, fixing it up, renting it out, providing housing, and we have had an amazing time doing that. And I believe ever since I've came here, I have seen the island as a place for business. And any business that you can imagine that you're good and you can provide value, you can bring to this island and you can make it a successful venture for yourselves. Guys, we've seen positive population growth over the last 6 years. We're seeing an economic resurgence. We have a rocket ship economy. And even though the island does get affected by the mainland, over the last couple of years when we went through this inflationary period, we sort of didn't see it. We had such a strong economy that it's continued to go well. We have positive wage growth. We have businesses starting every day. The infrastructure is improving. I can't even go on enough. Let's talk about the collaborative nature of the island of Puerto Rico and the people that you're going to find on this island. It, for me, as a businessman, has been something like I've never seen anywhere else. So I've run and started and done and sold dozens of businesses over the last 26 years, most of them around real estate and owning businesses inside of the real estate we own. But I'm telling you guys, the collaboration that happens on this island, it's breathtaking. It's an amazing thing to witness. It's something that I've never expected to see. It's something like I've never experienced before. So in the States, we have frenemies or business friends where we're competitors and, we don't share a lot. It's not like that on the island of Puerto Rico. When you come here, there is a local population that's here that's ready to greet you and do deals with you and partner with you and start businesses with you. There is an expat community here that's easy to access. They've come here from other places after having several successes in life. There's just a lot of collaboration. There's a wealth of capital, but there's also a wealth of a mind trust. There's this entrepreneurial spirit like nowhere else that I've ever been in the world. It's just an amazing place to be, to live, to do business, to make friends. Again, I'm the biggest cheerleader of Puerto Rico. I believe that. We put out probably more content about Puerto Rico than anybody else on the planet. We certainly talk about real estate and business opportunities on the island of Puerto Rico more than anybody that I know of. Let's talk about the trades, guys. The island of Puerto Rico, we need carpenters, we need electricians, we need plumbers, we need welders, we need builders, we need all kinds of construction, roofers, you name it, we need it. I say this on other content, the trades get paid, baby. And if you are a skilled person and you come to the island of Puerto Rico, my God, the sky's the limit for you. And we've seen this. And we invited our good friend Lewis, who was working with us in Orlando, Florida. He was from the island. We brought him with us like 6 months after we came to the island. I called Lewis up and I said, Lewis, we're really only going to focus on Puerto Rico for the next few years. If you can come back, I think it can be an amazing opportunity for you. And he has flourished. He's become a general contractor and he's got a great thriving business on the island. He's our go-to guy when we're looking to renovate something big. And so guys, that's why you probably are watching this. You're thinking about coming to Puerto Rico. I want to just stress again, if you're thinking about it, do it. It's the right choice. It's a great place to be, to live, to have a business. So I hope that you've enjoyed the video, guys. If you have, give us that thumbs up. Push this video out to other people. We want to invite partnerships through our channel. We would love to do a real estate deal with you or possibly start a business. We're all about collaboration. And so we just love it here on the island of Puerto Rico, and we encourage you all to come. If you're a local who left for opportunity in the mainland, so come back, you guys. If you're a small business owner of any kind of, and so I'm just encouraging you guys, if you're skilled, come to the island. There's work, there's opportunity. It's amazing. I hope that you guys like what I've said here today about Puerto Rico. I hope that if you're considering to move to Puerto Rico, that you do it. It's an amazing place. I really, despite anything that I might have said that's negative about the island, I love everything about Puerto Rico. And I definitely love the collaboration and the ability to start and run and do businesses here. There's just a wealth of opportunity on the island of Puerto Rico. So like and subscribe to the channel, guys. If you want to get in touch with us, send us an email at theflipflopflipperpr@gmail.com. Let's do a deal together. God bless.